And we count down to zero. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Monarchs Mocha Wednesday edition. Let's bring the countdown down because we're done with the countdown, and we're time to roll the open on a Thursday in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. All the groovy music means we're ready to go here, Lane. Thursday, a little late today. Today's a getaway day for us, and we're leaving tonight, so I'll bring this down here for you. And first off, it's Monarchs Mocha. What is this show? If you're watching this for the first time, maybe you do watch us now and again. This show is kind of a catch-up, a coffee, sit around, chat a bit. I'm bringing the audio down just a tad. It's kind of peaking a little bit there. Chat a little bit. Talk about the Monarchs. Usually look back the night before, then we will also talk about the day ahead. And let me check the audio here as we are. Yep, there we go. So I'll make sure everything's all going good there. And we are going good. And let me bring this down. Welcome, as you see the Monarchs Mocha right there here in the broadcast booth. Nick's going to be back here in a moment. He'll join us in the broadcast tonight for a few minutes, talk about tickets and whatnot. Put some graphics up for you. This is what you can do live here. We can do this live. Good on Dan Vaughn, voice of the Kansas City Monarchs, and I'm glad you're along today. A happy Thursday. And again, getaway day. What that means for us in this business, it means that we'll be traveling tonight following the ball game. It's one of those deals where we will leave after the game within an hour or so, hour and a half. Basically, the guys will get a chance to grab a meal, the spread, pack their stuff, pack the gear. We have a road, Jared Bashaw, for example, has a road kit that he has to pack up, a big box. There's also a lot of things that John West will pack up, caps, uniforms, things of that nature, extra things, just extras. And, bottles of water, equipment. Guys have their bat bags. Each guy usually has his own individual bat bags. You've got all that gear. And that takes a while to load up. Bus will probably be here shortly after the game's over. We probably won't get out of here. I'm just guessing here tonight, midnight-ish. Sort of sounds like that's the plan. And we're ready to go tonight and hit the road to King County and then to Sioux City. Back a week from the day on an off day. The Monarchs do have an off day. Let me grab the schedule. I do have it right here. Sorry, I don't like to go off the screen there, but we will. Kansas City, I think Jackson mentioned this. The only two off days that are coming are the 11th and the 15th. He and I talked about this in the broadcast. There's 3 more off days to go. We're at game 71 tonight. 29 more left. We're about 4 games away from starting to watch, and I'm already watching a little bit, but watching usually when August rolls around, start watching the matchups of how many games left at home and away. We've already done that. But the 11th and then the 15th, a Monday between that one for the Winnipeg first trip. So, which is a week from this Monday. So we'll come home. We'll be home against Lincoln off day on the 11th, 3 against Lincoln off day on Monday, then to Canada for the first of 2. 3 consecutive weeks against the Gold Eyes, which we talked about that last night. But get that a moment. Roastery Coffee Company, there you go, right there. A little cold brew. It's what we're going to have right now. Of course, this show's brought to you by the Roastery Coffee Company. 6 locations here in Kansas City. It's Kansas City made. Roastery.com. In the back right there. This is my favorite of the bunch. This is you see the label there. It's a chocolate raspberry cold brew. Innocent indulgence. I'm going to put this in my, I got Sneeto's mug here, but this one was already, this is the leftover a little bit from last night. I'm going to top off right here because it was still pretty cold and put in the fridge. So we'll use Sneeto's Monarchs Mocha mug during the broadcast tonight, hopefully. I don't want to leave a bunch of dirty stuff here because we're gone for a week, and I want to leave it here dirty too. So there's that. Maybe I'll just use this one tonight and have Sneeto's fresh and clean for the return trip. That's right here. There we go. Yes, the show again, it's to talk about the Monarchs, your questions, comments. We'll look back at last night, get you caught up what's going on around the league and where we played today on It's now the 4th of August. Kane County and the Monarchs. There was a busy day yesterday. When we came your way yesterday, we had no clue what was going to be ahead of us, which was the Ryan Grotjohn arrival. Grotjohn arrived yesterday. He joined the ball club in the afternoon, and Ryan Grotjohn played left field. For you folks who are new to us or don't remember, Ryan Grotjohn was basically top 3 in every category across the board last year. Second stolen bases, runs scored, RBIs, hit 2 home runs last year. Just a real focal part of this club and a real glue piece. One of those guys everybody loved. He was close to everybody liked him. The fans liked him. The management loved the guy. I know Joe did. He's one of those classic guys we've seen Joe Capietra bring in here time and time again. The list goes on and on. My wife and I were discussing this the other day. The names of guys that have come through here, you're going, man, I missed that guy. This goes back to Kevin Keys, who was here back in 17, all the way to guys like, guys you got currently right now. I would say, the guys you have now, the folks that are here that you brought in, David Thompson, for example, or J.C. Oscara, guys that have come in and you're like, but those are good guys. And there's a lot of them. As Nick just slipped behind me, I heard him typing.
Ticket guy here.
Ticket dude's here.
Slinging.
He's slinging tickets.
His
license plate says T-Dude. T-Dude. Big night tonight, yeah. It's a pretty good house tonight, I think. Be a nice night too. A beautiful day here. It's kind of it's muggy. We were out doing our walk this morning, and it's a little humid, but hey, it's pretty solid. And this thing's a big game tonight. This is a big one. Not necessarily. It doesn't mean anything more than Sunday or next Wednesday or 2 weeks from today, but it's a series win on the line here. And that's the math we talk about. Now, the long winning streaks are great. The long winning streaks takes care of everything, right? Streaks take care of it all. But outside of that, which is the hardest thing to do in baseball is win. All these things got to happen every night to win 3 in a row. I mean, winning 3 in a row is hard. Sweep's tough. And that's why when you do sweep, it's pretty big. And when you don't, you still 1, 2, or 3. The math's still there. Tonight's 2 or 3. And for both clubs, Kane County is looking at a situation where they're going to get above 500, and the Monarchs try to continue their climb and keep pace in the division. So a lot at stake here tonight. And tonight's matchup, I've got it on the wall over there, and it is – where am I looking at here? Oh, yes, John Harris tonight. Harris is facing Weston Muir tonight, pair of right-handers. They've all been really good matchups. I mean, last night, Fox and Thorpe, pair of 7-game winners. The opener, the numbers are really good. And Fuentes and Hartman. And I think tonight's one of the most good matchups. We've caught this 1, 2, 3 in the rotation. I don't know what this weekend's going to hold for them. I don't know the rotation going forward, and we'll find that out tonight. But Kansas City will open up, I believe, it'll be this weekend. You're looking at going to see Harris today. So Belzer going tomorrow, and then you've got Hall, and then back to the front of the rotation, or not the front, but back to where we started. It's King County. They'll see Hartman again because your front of the rotation is going to be Matt Hall. And he'll go on Saturday there in Geneva. So there you get cut off. Let's check the standings before we check the highlights. You know what? What am I thinking of? You're here for the Monarchs, right? Let's roll the highlights first. That's what we should do. Yeah, let's roll the highlights. Roll the highlights first from last night. Oops, sorry about that. Got the wrong one up. There we go. I do stand, but that's not what I want to do. There we go. Let's roll the highlights from last night. Thanks to my staff and Adam Cook for this fine work. Here we go from last night.
Swing and miss pitcher. He's got great stuff. But his counterpart tonight, Jack Fox.
Around the right side, ranging over. That's going to get for a base hit. Heading for third will be Santher, and breaks going at first for David Thompson. He's trying to force a throw, and he's going to 1-1. Here's one lined out to right center field. That's going to be trouble. That's going to get the track and bounce off the Price. Chopper R out there, and Matt Adams has a stand-up double. It's 1-0 Kansas City.
Man, it's a highlight reel play if it succeeds.
Ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit. That'll score a run. Swinney will be waved around. Throw from center field. It's cut off. It's 3-0.
Center, and my first baseman would be on the home run hill.
And he rolls it the right side where nobody is against that shift. And David Thompson is a 3-for-3 night for Matt Adams. Nobody out. Actually, one out, pardon me. Out toward left center field. Come on, sit down. Yeah, we'll base hit. Santa will score. Racing with third is Thompson. He'll be held there. Into second goes Adams. He slides in.
Swing and miss pitcher. He's got great stuff, but his counterpart tonight, Jack Fox.
Around the right side, ranging over. That's going to get for a base hit. Heading for third will be Santher, and breaks going at first for David Thompson. He's trying to.
There we go. They just kind of stopped on us there. But I think that was it. Let's see here. Hold on. I'm making sure that's all I have. I think it froze on us there for a second. Let me make sure. Yeah, we got it all. Sorry about that. We had it all. I know we had the final out right there, but last night, look at the sheet from last night. Solid ball game offensively. Again, that I thought it froze on me. It didn't freeze. It just stopped. We didn't have the final out. I didn't see the pitching work. But last night, David Thompson. Something we talked about in the post game last night. What makes David Thompson so valuable with this ball club? And it's something that Jackson and I talked about at length in the post game. And he brought up a really good point. Something we've talked about a little bit on the air, that, we sometimes look at guys and say, okay, RBIs, home runs, driving in runs, right? That's what we think about. But you look at the box score from last night. I'm looking at my score sheet from last night right here. And I'm looking at David Thompson, single, triple, single, and a line to left. Now, in the first inning, the Monarchs don't score, but he gets aboard. And there's 2 aboard that first inning. In the third, he sets up. What you don't see is the run scored. He sets up with a triple to start off the inning. Double rings him home, right? You're going to get him home 9 times out of 10. That sets up the inning. Fourth inning, once again, you see he seems set the inning up. There's a single. Now, the second single is a Kevin Santa single. That brings in a run. But his single sets up the table for Matt Adams again, who doubles to wipe him clean. And we don't always talk in terms of RBIs, generating offense, RBIs, you're getting your total bases here, but you also set things up. Getting a board in front of Matt Adams, and that's something we talked about over the years. Last 2 years that Gabby Guerrero was great at. Gabby was great in the moment of getting an RBI when he needed it, also set the table for the guys behind him. And I think that's something we don't talk enough about, and that's what makes David Thompson so valuable. They even put a shift against David to the left side. He puts the heavy bat barrel down and shoots it on the right side, almost as if they almost dared him to do that, and they did twice. That single in the first inning, the single in the fourth inning, both those were that right side. The triple was, you could have played a fence beyond a fence. It wouldn't make any difference. So, again, I'm not saying we don't. The RBIs, home runs, those are all huge numbers, right? But I don't think we sometimes dive in those numbers by the numbers. We talk about the post game, which are getting on base and setting up your teammates. And that's what he did. And again, the 8th inning, he gets aboard as well to help start a rally again. The Monarchs get picked off at third with the bases loaded, but he's aboard at second on a single that kind of sets the table. And, what's great about this lineup card, the unselfishness, and I go back to guys like Gabby Guerrero and Casey Gillespie, who over the years we've seen, Darnell Sweeney, guys that don't have to always drive in runs. They can also set the table. And really, I think top to bottom here, that's what this lineup card is. We've even seen in certain situations, quite a few situations over the weekend at Sioux Falls, that Adams led off the inning with a single or double. Would drive, it's setting up your teammates, and this lineup card just does that. It's almost as if, okay, tonight, the way the card shifts, I'm the guy that's going to set the table. Some nights you're the guy going to drive in runs, and everybody's really good at that role, depending what the role is. There's not just one guy. It's not just saying, okay, this all I can do is drive in runs. That's not the case here. A lot of times you get a situation where, okay, when you're facing the big RBI producer leading off the inning, and the only way he can hurt you is by hitting a home run. That happens with this offense too, but I would tell you that this offense sets themselves up top to bottom better than anybody in the league. And I don't think Jackson and we hadn't really talked about that much till last night, and David Thompson's a classic case in point. Classic case in point. And I think you go back to Ryan Grosjean last year, and Grosjean was a classic example of that last year for Kansas City. All right, let's check the standings today as we play on the 4th of August. And what happened last night, of course, we know the scores already, but I will give you the standings last night with the scores in the post game, but I'll kind of refresh those for you here. But we know that Fargo did knock the Explorers around last night, and so that win means that everybody's still tied. Nothing changed in the West. Go to the East, though, first. Chicago 7 clear. They've won 2 in a row. Milwaukee's won 3 in a row. And then right there in that bumper is King County. King County back a game below, 10.5 back. And then 16 back for the Garys, who now are in fourth position. A game clear Cleburne. Cleburne, who had that fourth position for about, 3 weeks? Has found themselves, after battling out that early hole, found themselves a game back again. And then Lake Country, 21 back. They are 5 back of Gary. A lot of things got to go right for Lake Country to catch the Garys, but Cleburne is well in a good spot right there going into August here, this first week of August. Kansas City and Fargo, they tied best record in the league, 46-24, 657 percentage. Monarchs have won 7 of 10. Fargo 6 of 10. They won 4 straight to even things up in the standings, but Kansas City, by virtue of the head-to-head, winning the series there and here, right now holds that tiebreaker and does hold the advantage in the division. Winnipeg cooled last night, but they're 8-2. They cooled 2 nights ago. They are 5 back, didn't lose any ground, didn't gain any ground. They're 8 of their last 10, though, but they do have that separation now. They are 10 games clear of Lincoln now. And I went back and looked at this last night after the ball game. It was only about 27 days ago that they were in fourth position, and they were a good distant 3 games back. They wound up making 8 games up in about 27 days, and really a lot of factors. A, playing really good baseball. B, Lincoln scuffled just a bit. And Salty now 15 back, holding a half game lead over Sioux City. Someone's going to get that fourth position, and it's been back and forth. It looks like what you're seeing with Gary and Cleburne, you're going to see with Lincoln and Sioux City, although Sioux Falls still with the deficit of 4 games, still very much alive there. But we talked about, but again, I love what's going on in the association right now. I love this whole, the dynamics we're seeing. We're seeing the battles at the top. Really in the West, it's that battle for first and second, with the secondary battle of Fargo, who's right in the heels and can say, well, what about us? Winnipeg, pardon me. Winnipeg with the 9 games against Kansas City, 10 games against Kansas City, can get real healthy quick. I mean, you go 8-2 in that stretch, you're going to have a division crown possibly. You're the number 1 seed. Look, there's a lot of baseball to be played here, and that's a tall task to ask, and you've got a 5-game cushion, but again, interesting race there. So it's the Monarchs and Fargo for race 1, and that secondary part of that is the Winnipeg equation. And then I love the race of the 2 bottom of the divisions, which are going to be back and forth, and the Garys and Cleburne, and the back and forth on Sioux City and Lincoln. And then I think we've sort of see that Milwaukee 7 back, it's going to be maybe that 4th, 5th battle will be that second place position in the East. Maybe there's something to watch there. But anyway, that's just kind of my take on the whole deal. And time for questions and comments here on Monarchs Mocha, brought to you by the Roastery Coffee Company in Kansas City. 6 locations. We were talking about the company last night, about somebody was asking about where to get the said cold brew, and the factory is the best place to go down there, or to go down to into the storefronts like Leewood. It's a good one. I've been there and picked this up there, but the factory or down at the drive-through there, Southwest. They're on Southwest with the DC3 sitting on top of it. Right behind it is the factory, and it's got a big, huge walk-in showroom, but it's also got a big, huge shop in there. You can sit down, Wi-Fi, snacks, all that stuff there. And they got the tours all right through the Roastery Coffee Company there in Kansas City. Here we go. All right, questions, comments on the game tonight. Your thoughts. Again, every game is big. They don't mean any more today than they do yesterday, but it's still a big game tonight because the math is in play here. This is a series win for you. You get a series win, and that's the idea. Because you get the postseason, what do you need? A series win. Kansas City playing in this spot. By the way, it's a good number. We've dug this up, I believe, on the road trip, and we pull this up for us here. Last night's game notes here. The Monarchs in series finales are 14-7. So 7 above, and finales openers 18-5. middles 12-6 when you're this, playing this good baseball. When you are 46-23, 23 above, those numbers are pretty good, but those are all pretty steady. And the mathematics tell you that 9 times out of 10, or in that case, be 7 out of 10, roughly 6 out of 10, you're going to be in the win column in this situation. So tonight, the Monarchs have a good chance to take care of business against King County here. And this will be the final series against the teams from the East. This is it. From here on out, coming on Monday, we'll talk about this more on Monday in Sioux City. Coming on Monday, it's all division bunkmates the rest of the way. All the way. Till we finish here on Labor Day Monday against those Fargos, which there's nothing that's changed. I still believe we're going to be playing, important baseball that final weekend, how that shapes up, and a lot of delicious turns in this thing. I mean, we're already putting that trip for Winnipeg together in 2 weeks. That's around the corner. I don't think I've looked forward to a stretch of baseball in the regular season like I have in this one. David says, let's see here. Sorry, I got a glare here, David. Put this on the screen. By the way, David, congratulations on your new gig, mate. I didn't get to college, but you're coaching in the fall, but I did see it. Congratulations. Expanded playoffs is intriguing. Each indie league is doing it differently, so it's going to be fun to see how things shake out. Yeah, I think that's kind of what we're all doing. You're going to look at it, David, and I think every league's going to look at the end of the year and say, how did it work for us? I think expanded playoffs are the thing, because right now we're talking here on August 4th, and everybody has a puncher's chance. I mean, literally, a 5 or 6 game winning streak for anybody at the bottom of the division can change this thing upside down in a hurry. I mean, even though you're looking at 6 games back for Lake Country, I mean they're a series sweep of somebody out of nowhere that get them right back in the right team. It's right back in the middle, right back in the middle of it. And all those teams. In Gary's case, they're winning, 7-10 for maybe, getting firmly in that 4 spot. I wonder too how much the Cleburne travel will have affected them, because those long trips and those long series they're playing on the way and the long series at home, which I wonder how much that's affected them. I'm interested to see. But yeah, the playoff thing is really cool, and I think that looking at the dynamics of it going forward, I think all the leagues will kind of sit down with amongst themselves and say, okay, the Atlantic did this, we did this, the Frontier did this. What do you guys think? And we'll ask the owners and the managers. But again, as much interest you can create, that's great. So we're going to be talking about every team. I mean, really, for the next 2 weeks, every team we're going to be talking about is a postseason candidate. Every team in this league. And there's been years we're August 1, you either had to win out or get just scorching hot, or you're already planning for next year. I mean, we've had that before, and that's not happening this year. Love it, David. Good to see you, mate. Questions, comments, and this one here on Monarchs Mocha, brought to you by the Roastery Coffee Company. Tonight's broadcast, we have a couple things going on tonight. First off, our AA Baseball TV call, which will be on the video stream tonight. Also, our YouTube channel, which some of you folks are watching on YouTube right now. That's where the booth cam is. Love the booth cam. It's kind of a look behind the scenes. It's shot back this direction. You can catch our guest and what's going on up here in the booth and our reactions to the good and the bad and everything in between. And then we've also, of course, have our radio call, which is where the interactive chat is, and that's on Mix LR. I'll get those up for you in a moment. And then our friend next door, Carter Waddell from the league, is going to be here. They're doing the game of the week from here next door. So Carter's here doing some content work for the league, and he is on location. Last week, he did the game of the week, I believe, from Sioux Falls. And he is, he lives in Sioux Falls. He's doing the game from here. I had to find out. I think he might be making every Thursday road trips from here on out. Maybe. Very possible. Yes, you can get reactions to mustard skills. By the way, I saw a drop of mustard on my shoes this morning from that incident on Tuesday night. Yeah, Tuesday night I had a little mustard action all over the shirt. Not once, but twice. Thank you to WD-40 for getting that out of my shirt. The buns the hot dogs are great, but I think I let them sit a little too long. The buns got a little. They weren't as soft as they probably could have been, And what you got, Sneedo? What you got, mate? Let's see here. Our season tickets available to Planet, so is it interest free? We're very close to pulling. You know what? Tonight, Sneedo, Nick's going to join me in the broadcast in, I believe, the 5th inning tonight. And we'll find that question. He's not here now, but we'll find that out. My guess is yes. I think there is something along the lines of that. I know for me, we bought season tickets for Texas Tech football, and we had a plan like that too. Which I believe I paid it off last month, according to my credit card bill. Going to be doing a lot of substitute teaching starting in September. By the way, one more note last night, and I didn't get this. Should have brought this picture up. Let's see if I can bring it up here. Don't know if I'm going to have it for you, but last night, I'm going to put this to my email, so give me a moment, and I will put this on the screen for you guys. Because last night, I ran into a certain somebody here. And I think you guys will, and a guy that I didn't know was here, and then we'll talk about that in just a moment. There we go. And I'll put this, there we go. It'll come to my email, and I'll load it in a second. Again, questions, comments, great question, though, and we will find that out. Nick will be on tonight on the broadcast. We'll find out exactly what, here we go. Let me download this. Oops. I'll send it again because I don't think it went through. Helps to attach said picture to email, Vaughn. Let's try it again, folks. Well, I swear I had this all organized a moment ago, and I didn't. Oh, well, forget it. Anyway, but yeah, we'll get them on the night. We'll find that. Ask that question. Remind me too tonight, Steve, to ask that on the broadcast, and I will get that to you. Yeah, I can't. Let's try it again here. Let's just try it again. Now let's try it. See if that'll come through there. There we go. But yeah, we'll find that out tonight for you for sure. Yes, I'm. What are you watching? Everybody's watching. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, I want to put this on the screen. This is last night. I did not know last night, and some of you folks that have been around a while will know who this is, and I'm going to share this with you. Last night, I did not realize. Apparently, I didn't. To pull the curtain back, during the broadcast, I sometimes hear what Nate says or what Morgan says, but not all. Like, for example, I know at the 3rd inning or after the 2nd inning, we do the salute to our troops. I know this. I know it, and I see the WGU on the board. I hear the music. I know that right there. But a lot of times between innings, a pitching change, or we're or maybe it's highlights. We just scored some runs. There's a pitching change, so I'm pulling highlights while running the board and perhaps pulling the stats for the new guy, and this is all going on. So I don't always hear the other noises going on out there. And this was the case last night because I totally missed this. And so W40 and I last night after the game, because it's a getaway day today, we had a little couples time last night, went across to our friends over there at Danny's over there. And apparently this gentleman was there with his wife. And I'll just put the screen for you and show you right now. You guys know who this is. That's the one and only Josh Tolles, the former T-Bone and former player in this league, King County, and former Phillies farmhand, member of Team Australia. He was here last night, and he was in the game notes last night. Josh, who went to Rockhurst, pitched there, and his wife is from here in Kansas City. They live in Adelaide in South Australia, but he was here last night. He was going to come up, he said, but got just startup people he knew. And then we happened to go to Danny's last night, and he was talking to some of the King County guys and Justin Donatello. And Justin Donatello was there with a couple of, because he knew some of the guys from the Diamondbacks organization. And Justin tells him, well, Dan's over here. And he's like, sure enough, wife and I were sitting over across the way there, and so we had a great chat, got a great catch up. But he was a really good mate. Pitched here in 15 and 16 with the T-Bones. Got his pro start here from Rockhurst. Pitched for the Phillies and is a member of Team Australia, and hoping to see him in the WBC this year. But he was back in the States on holiday, and he and his wife. And I think I mentioned this last year when he pitched for King County. Last year when he was with King County, he was sort of not stuck here, but he couldn't get back in the country on a 28-day quarantine. And his wife was there, and he was here pitching for the Cougars. And again, a good dude and a really good mate. Always good to see him. And again, I know some of you guys would like that. So yeah, I saw him last night. All right, last call for questions and comments on Monarch Smoke. We got game modes to do. We got bags to pack. We got a show to tape with Joe Calf-Pietra in an hour. Tonight's broadcast, we'll have Monarchs live at 6. I'll have Jackson join me then. We'll have a little catch-up on this series, get his impressions on the final game of the series. Tonight's broadcast, 6:30 on the radio side. And then again, shortly after that, on the AA baseball side. Here are your reminders here on Monarchs Mocha. And they are right here. There you go. There's AA Baseball TV. That's $14.99 per month. Again, say it every time. You want to go back and watch Home Run Derby? It's there. Want to go back and watch maybe you missed last night. It's there. Place to go. Or you just want to check out, maybe you want to see, you know what, I haven't seen Sioux City in a while. They've been playing pretty well. Let me see what they've been doing. Do it. And of course, some folks say, well, what about the radio? Well, you can always download our MixLR app on the radio side and mute our radio call and chat back and forth with us on MixLR while you're watching the video. There's that. And of course, where you can find that on MixLR, here it is right here. Place to go. MixLR, Kansas City Monarchs baseball right there. We begin that at 6:30 tonight. Last night, we learned the story of Satchel Paige, his first start in the big leagues in front of 72,000 fans at Cleveland's Municipal Stadium in 1948. It was on August 3rd, 48. Paige went 7 innings. You won't hear that anywhere else but right here. Kind of thing you'll learn at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum in Kansas City, our partners. You're going to learn things like that on our pregame show. We also talked about Colonel Rupert and his ties to the black community in New York and why they named the Rupert Cup the every summer classic in Yankee Stadium that began in 1939. It was a 4-game doubleheader or 4-weekend doubleheader throughout the summer, trying to bridge the gap to the Yankees and the Negro National League. And it kind of some goodwill and really trying to help the Negro Leagues. And perhaps my argument was, and I still believe this, if Colonel Rupert doesn't die from phlebitis in 1939 or January of 39, perhaps the Yankees are the first one to crack the color barrier, and probably a little earlier, like 1940. So there's that. But you learn things like that on our show. Of course, Jackson will have your dugout report tonight. I believe he's scheduled to talk to Ryan Grotjohn tonight. I think that's the case. Joe will join us. We'll have your Around the American Association report. All that tonight on the broadcast. Loaded for you, the pregame, then the broadcast, and we have all kinds of fun. We'll have plenty of coffees, plenty of things to chat about. And, of course, on YouTube, you can go to our YouTube channel. You can see the booth cam where all the other hijinks happen. You can see the reaction to one of my favorites was last year when Jackson and I, he had to go down to the post-game interview, and the Monarchs walked off, and he was high-fived me out the door. So, anyway. All right. There we go. Just trying to get this off the screen here. What happened there? Anyway. All right, Monarchs Mocha. Glad you guys stopped by today. There we go. Trying to get this off here. There we go. Glad you guys stopped by. We'll see you guys in the broadcast tonight. Tomorrow from Kane County, 6:30 tomorrow night, Saturday night, and Sunday, 1 o'clock. We will be a hit or miss tomorrow on this show. It all depends what time we get in, how tired DB is, and just what the general, how the ride is. But I would say we're 50-50. The last time we rode all night, we did make it in Milwaukee, and we did have a show. So there's that. So keep fingers crossed. We need to pack about 2 cases of this, but other than that, Roastery Coffee Company, 6 locations in Kansas City. This is the chocolate and raspberry cold brew. It's the official cold brew of the broadcast team here for your Monarchs. All right, little 1, 2, 3, go Monarchs. I'm ready. We'll see you at 6 o'clock on Facebook Live. Let me bring this down and get out of the way here so we can get some work done. Here we go. All right, you guys ready for a 1, 2, 3, go Monarchs? I'm ready. You're ready. We're all ready. 1, 2, 3. Go Monarchs. I'll see the broadcast. Not everybody.